And this is recording. I need to share my screen as well. My entire screen. Here we go. Okay, so what you guys remember from previous session? What are the things that we discussed from very big picture point of view? This is our goal is to
We
create.
mainly
Yeah, go ahead, Kautar.
we mainly discussed what everyone understood from the abstract and the introduction, and basically the main idea was that we use two transformers to generate 3D meshes. One, you generating or modeling the distribution of the vertices and trying to generate new vertices, and the second one conditioning on vertices in order to generate faces. And this is what we talked about.
That's correct. We were talking. We were talking about the paper that we need to analyze and then learn all piece of the points that was presented that were presented in that paper together collectively as a team. But even bigger picture is that our goal. I'm saying this to remind you. You know, doing a recap of what we our goal is to create a educational platform. An educational platform is going to be open source. We're going to have teams learning in a team set and a group setting. Uh, then, from the beginning, one of my goals to invite as many people that I can manage is we learn how to teach as we go, as we learn ourselves, as we discuss concepts. So, one of things that I think we need to do is that um, as we go, we need to um, create contents, create, create contents, videos uh, with each other's help. Okay, and we discussed or we talked about creating the points of or outlines of the topics that they were discussed or presented in that paper. Does any one of you uh, have thought about that? Have you guys created any list of the concepts? Carolus, Kautar, Eric?
Hello. Yes, on my side, I'd started generating a list.
Hmm.
It required me to first understand the flow of the paper
Okay.
and to try to look at the end goal and how we will be arriving at the end goal.
Yes.
Yes, so we are looking at an end goal where we are making this PolyGen model that is able to generate 3D meshes.
Okay.
And this model has like two main parts. So we have the vertex model and the face models, and then it goes deeper. So I've been trying to just start from a conclusive point of view, trying to come back and now start generating how the content will flow to the final goal or objective. So I'm still in the process on my side. Hopefully, maybe in our next meeting, I'll have made quite some big progress.
Yes. So another thing is that in our team work, you need to be able to explain. explain. Explain what you've learned, how you learn, explain how you learn. Or how is your your thought process. I'm not doing a good job because I should not write things. I should uh, use pictures, but I haven't prepared for this meeting, unfortunately. So we, as Eric mentioned, uh, Eric, please do that, and I would like you to take turn and share your screen, and then we will discuss about things that you learned. Um, and we need to manage that because we are 4 or 5 people now, and if everybody speaks for 10 minutes, we're going to spend lots of time. So we need to have that list and share it beforehand before coming to these meetings, and be prepared. Probably we need to find a way to communicate through text and be prepared about the topics. Okay. Um, and I'm not prepared today either. So, so let's recap about the concepts. Okay, um, that we're trying to learn, or we're trying to discuss. Um, so one concept that is presented in this paper is transformer. Okay, and let me just do it differently. Um, Probably this one. Transformer. My, and then we have auto-regressive models, right? And
They are both the same, by the way.
I'm sorry.
Autoregressive models and transformers are both the same. You can say that transformers is an example of autoregressive models. Yeah.
I think there are little differences because the article that you send us in your PDF, for example, for
Yeah.
autoregressive, you can use CNN. And is that correct? They call it CNN. So
It's
transformer,
kind of like it was made for sequence data.
yes. So
So, but it was enhanced to work
exactly.
on
So
computer vision stuff. Yeah.
transformers. So yeah, we will discuss this, and then we will enlighten each other. So Kautar, what is the relationship between transformer and autoregressive? Regressive, right?
I guess transformers are a type of autoregressive models
So it is
by definition.
one type of implementation of auto regressive model, right? Is
Yes,
that,
exactly.
and there is another method which is called CNN. Am I writing it correctly? Uh,
CNN isn't
Yes,
an
but
autoregressive
I
model.
doubt that CNNs.
so
I don't think that CNNs are autoregressive.
okay, because I was reading,
Yeah, the paper was talking is that you can make you
yeah,
can loop through a matrix of an image as its sequence data. That is the idea of
yeah.
autoregressive.
So I know that CNN was the older version that uses or reads sequential data, like like languages. For example, I am a student. Anyway.
No, actually, that's not CNN, that's RNN.
Actually,
Okay.
you can use CNN, but it will be like a one-dimensional convolution, not
Okay, so
two-dimensional
that's
convolution.
why I'm asking. I was giving you the correct. Yeah. Okay. So that was RNN. So what is CNN? What is the difference between RNN and CNN?
You can say CNN was made for computer vision stuff like images or videos. It's
Okay.
kind of like applies convolution, convolution matrix on the.
Okay.
Actually, both are sharing the same idea, but it's different on the data type. Like for RNN it works on sequence data like audio or text, but CNN works on images. But both have the idea of like minimizing the competitions by sharing the parameters. That is
Okay.
the main idea between both.
So that was the RNN that I studied some time ago. That it is for
Yeah.
sequential data like text, but CNN for images, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
so, so if we have an image of person, for example, we use CNN.
Exactly.
So everybody agrees. Is that
Yes.
correct? So then what is the relation between transformer and CNN? How they are similar or how they are different? Or, I mean, is the CNN a subset of or kind of transformers?
No, actually, CNNs and transformers are very different things. Transformers, they are based on attention, where CNNs are based on convolution. And on the contrary, there is a relationship between transformers and RNNs, as in first for text data, RNNs were
One
used,
second, 1 second. I was writing, so I distracted. So transformer
and then
based on attention, right? CNN are convolution based on convolution, you said?
Yeah. Convolution matrix.
yes, exactly.
So CM, convolution matrix. Okay. And go ahead, please continue. So
And first for text data, we used to use RNNs because RNNs are recurrent neural networks. So recurrent is used for the sequential type of data. And then we noticed after a while that we can get rid of this sequential characteristic and they use transformers instead for text data.
so right.
And now we are trying.
So we we just said that. I mean, the research paper says that they decided to not use RNN and use transformers, right?
Yes.
Because it is faster. Because
Yes, the paper that
it is faster because it use parallel access of data,
exactly
right?
exactly that's the idea of the paper of transformers.
Parallel. I don't know how to spell parallel. So that's the feature of the transformers. Uh, okay.
I have a question. What's transformer? I can't understand. Do I have the knowledge in computer science?
Yes, you need to have knowledge in machine learning. Transformers, Kautar, can you explain to Nima what is transformer in a simple way?
How is it? Its
So basically the
application?
idea transformers were first used to do sequence to sequence tasks. For example, machine translation. Then you have a sequence or a sentence in a first language, and you want to output another sentence in another language. And for that, we can use transformers. And the idea of transformers is the central idea is that they use attention. As in, for each word in the output sentence, they are going to find the word that is most important to it or the most related word in the input sentence, and they are going to put attention on it. So Basically, this is just the main idea of attention, and transformers are based on attention in a more complicated way than that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so this is an image, image file. Okay, and this is sequential data, like text. So when you have a text in forms of PDF or Word document, it is words, right? Um, characters and words. So
Yes.
in the past, they used to read this one by one sequentially, okay? And that's why that was RNN, right? That was the method of reading data sequentially, one by one. Then I think it was 2017, a group in Google, they realized that they can do parallel reading. Instead of reading one by one, they can read this
Like
in groups. Yeah, go ahead.
a dense network, yeah.
Kind
But
of,
more like it shifts with the time step. Like you can skip like the first input. It depends on what kind of stuff you are doing.
yes, I don't
Or
know the
yeah,
details. The whole idea is that instead of going one by one, you can read multiple inputs at the same time. And as Kautar mentioned, uh, there's a mechanism called attention. That attention finds what part of input should be read first or more important, right?
yeah.
So, yeah. So that's
Actually,
yeah.
if you don't mind,
Sure.
I put in the Google Doc a presentation about to explain transformers. I didn't finish it. I only explained the sequential learning of data and then the attention mechanism. It's in the Google Doc.
Okay. Very good. Very good. So um, all of this discussion that we had, uh, my main goal was not solely to talk about machine learning and transformers. I was trying to show you how the discussion in this group should happen. Some people have better understanding of the whole concept, some people they don't, and we discuss together to help each other understand it better. So how it is different from the traditional classroom or even online classes? Can somebody explain? What are the differences here to approach teaching and learning?
I guess this is more interactive
There,
because in classes
exactly,
or online classes we receive the information. Now we have the ability to share the information.
exactly. So in traditional uh, classroom, it is teacher oriented, teacher, and it is what is it is called? I don't know the exact term. It is the material that you're being taught. Let's say, uh, for example, the lessons, the uh, curriculum, the material, the lessons that were prepared beforehand are are centered. This is teacher centric, or um, yeah, let's say teacher centric. But in our method, students or people that are learning are centric. It is student centric, students. So, and we are co-equal, equal. It means that we are, all of the students are, they are teachers themselves. There is no distinction. Even one day I might know something more than you, but tomorrow you will know things better than me. So there is no top-bottom approach. So everyone is equal and everyone helping each other. And it is more interactive because in traditional classroom, some people might learn things very fast, some people very slow. but teacher has to have one way of communicating, right? They cannot, teacher doesn't have time to go slow or fast. So that's the problem with traditional way of learning. Okay, so also I want, another thing that I want to discuss is that we need to teach these things, right, to others as well. As soon as we're starting our activity, we need to be able to teach whatever we have. For example, what are the things that we know about machine learning? Can we create a quick list? We know what is neural, I don't know how, neural network is, right? More or less, right? What? Let's list the things that we know about machine learning. Let's start. Nima, can you help us? What you know and what things that you don't know 100% about machine learning, or you have heard about it? Everybody heard about neural networks, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Throw me another keyword.
Random forest.
Random forest, which I don't know what it is. Okay. What else?
I mean,
Supervised and
Convolutions.
unsupervised
by the
learning.
way, yeah, by the way, neural network can cover everything that you want. That is the idea. I can tell you
Exactly.
that I know
Exactly.
regression, but you can do regression with a neural network.
Correct.
It is the idea. Yeah.
Correct. Correct. So let's list first. Let's list so unsupervised learning, right? The other one would be
Yeah. Supervised and unsupervised learning.
yes, and then there's some combination of. So what else?
Like k-means.
What was that again?
It's called k-means.
How do you spell that?
Wait, can I? There's like a wait.
That's okay. We will write it down.
I
You to
I
send
see the
it.
chat. Yeah, in the chat.
Okay. So in the chat. Oh, k-means. Okay.
Yeah, k-means.
Mhm. Okay. K-means.
And support vector machine.
Vector machine.
Support vector machine. Yeah, SVM.
Okay. So every one of us, or some of us at least, heard about these things, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what I want us to do, so for the next meetings, that start doing this from big picture, let's say AI, create your own knowledge tree. I think this concept, I was thinking about this for many, many years. And recently I've heard that even Elon Musk is talking about this. So AI, this is the mind map of your own mind map. So everyone might have his or her own. It might be different, right? So create this, and then, for example, supervised learning. And then there is some concept that is related. For example, mean, I don't know, maybe it is related to supervised,
Unsupervised.
yeah, unsupervised.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this will help you when you create this concept map or mind map or whatever you want. It is like a tree that help yourself understand what you know and what you don't know. For example, this area I'm not sure, or there's some concept hanging there. I don't know what is the relationship to this one. So later on, we can created a database that's these what you call this in the tree methodology. So these links this thing might have many links to other concepts. And we can break down any concept to a smaller concept, right? So this link's also very important, because if we create this, we can cover all branches of science and knowledge, and we can put it in database. We can create a database, and then I don't know, we can use some AI um, to go through all of this metadata and help creating better search engines for educational purposes. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. So I think what I was trying to say that um, because we're going to teach, this is an educational platform. Uh, uh, I mean, the core activity that we're going to do based on being able to educate people. So at least you should know all of this relationship in your mind, and this will help you to explain things. For example, if you should be able to explain supervised learning to a teenager, and think about the way that you want to explain, because you're a teacher for the most part. And if you have difficulty explaining it to a teenager, it means that you need to redefine your understanding of this thing. For example, maybe you need to break this down to the smaller part, and then you can use metaphor, stories, or an example to explain this concept. And you should be able also to explain this relationship as well. So again, I was distracted. We need to start creating small videos. You should be able to create small videos or small presentation, because in our meetings we don't have 10 hours, but you can create. I highly suggest that you create your own YouTube channel. I highly recommend, and create small videos that we can share here. We can create a website, or uh, somehow link all of your videos and label them. For example, supervised learning, K-means, or machine learning. So we can use that for our future discussion. That, hey, I understand this, but I have difficulty understand some part of it. So is there anyone? We want to make it interactive for us and for other people that watching those videos. Is it clear what I'm trying to, what I have in my mind? Was I able to explain it very well? Do you guys have any question?
Yes, maybe a suggestion, or from what I'm thinking,
Mm-hmm.
maybe as we progress along, and particularly if we focus on the paper that we have at hand,
Mm-hmm.
and then from the paper we'll be able to present, we'll be able, each of us might be able to generate some kind of a PowerPoint presentation on what they understand, basically on the flow, like we had agreed earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Then you realize that as you study the paper, there are terms, there are concepts and techniques that are new that we might be able to learn.
Mm-hmm.
But normally, if you're studying a paper like this and you digress much into that kind of, you leave the paper and then you go to cover that kind of technique, you realize that you spend so many days or so many weeks or months before you finalize on the paper. So maybe I was thinking if we can all understand the paper first,
Mm-hmm.
and then as I understand the paper, for example, I know that Kerolos or Milna knows something about transformers, and I'm having troubles with it. Since it's very crucial for me understanding the paper,
Okay.
then they will assist me in knowing what the transformers are. So maybe the objective would be, so first we understand the paper, and then now we can digress into the other terms,
Okay,
that are surrounding the paper. Yeah, that's what I thought. Thank you very much.
sure, sure. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and feelings about this. Uh, anyone else before I comment on Eric's suggestion?
Yes, I agree with Eric. I agree with Eric because, as you said, the concepts you suggested, for example, right now, are vast and very very vague concepts. And creating videos about these concepts will make it. Will take longer than expected. So I think we should focus on reading the paper first. Then we can
Okay,
start doing the other tasks.
okay. Any other team member want to comment before before I, uh, you know, um,
Maybe what I can say is the
mm,
whole idea of having all this, like what you were saying, is
mm,
trying to create ways of teaching and learning.
right,
So the idea is not about the paper, but it's about how we learn how to teach and how to present the like what we have learned.
exactly. Is this
So
Oscar speaking?
yes,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah,
So that means even if you are going to look at the paper and everything, you can
mm,
create the short videos that you want. Okay, you can create short videos about the paper on what you've learned, but still when you're trying to learn how to teach, because that is the whole purpose of being here. You're
exactly,
trying to learn how
exactly.
to teach.
Yes,
Okay, I think that's my submission. Thank you.
yes, yes. Thank you. So everybody spoke except Mina. Mina, what do you think about this?
I think we should work sooner on how to execute codes and how to
Huh, okay.
to execute the way of to give the data to the code and how to define our distribution over the even and now I don't know how what's the data, the vertices and the faces for the models that we should define the distributions and to to create the shapes. And I think it's better to learn those things, uh, how to we should learn them by ourselves or we should learn them here in our meeting.
Okay. Okay. So the idea is that I think the concern that Eric and all of you or many of us have is that since uh, we don't have the mastery of understanding the all of the concept, it is overwhelming and it's not going to be a good quality of if we don't know the concept, how we're going to teach that, right? Okay. But my experience, and as Oscar said, uh, many people in the world are very expert of AI or machine learning or those kind of things, right? So my goal creating this team is not only getting mastered in some concept or even write a code for that. We will get there, but that's not the first priority. The first priority is that we should be able to communicate to other people that they're willing to learn. Okay, and one resistance that I have faced from um, creating videos is that people will think that okay, my videos are not going to have a good quality and the things is not going to be perfect. So one solution for that is that you can make your videos private or make it unlisted. The point of creating videos from beginning is that it's like you want to go to the gym and build muscle, right? If you focus on, for example, your upper body and do not do lower body practices, it's not going to be useful because you're going to be out of shape. So you have to practice all of the moves together. So, and people do that. For example, there are bloggers that blog about their progress, and it is very interesting that people, for example, they build their own house, and from day one that they thinking about buying land and building their own houses, they make lots of mistakes, and that makes it interesting, and that makes it interactive. So the goal is that we have constantly publish to the public that what we are doing. Okay. So for example, Eric mentioned that we don't know the whole uh, concept of the things that mentioned in this paper, but at least some of you have read about supervised learning and have some ideas. Okay, try to teach that today. Uh, we should not wait for tomorrow. You can try teaching your supervised learning. And then when you teach, and then when you present it here, we will see that, okay, if I want to explain about supervised learning, I think that I know, but I realize that, the picture is not 100% clear for me. So again, the idea is that we should start from day one, teaching or talking and being interactive with other people. And if you feel that your quality of your work is not good, that's okay. You don't need to share it to public. We can only discuss it here. But that will give you practice. That will give you opportunity to practice and prepare things beforehand and think about it, and then try to explain it to others. How do you? If you guys, are reluctant to do that, at least I can try it myself. So I will try to study and publish it in my channel. You guys can create your own videos and just send the link so we can, we, the team member can only see that videos if you're not, but you have to be creating things, creating content.
Please, can you give us some subjects to create videos to
Yeah,
everyone?
this is a subject, right? So for the paper, so first of all, for example, we talked about transformers, we talked about autoregressive models, right? So in order to understand transformers, you need to understand regressive models. You need to understand the neural networks. So break things down. If you don't know, if you have some difficulty understanding this thing, break this thing down that it is an auto-regenerate regressive model. So it's kind of a special kind of neural network. Okay, then ask yourself, do I know about neural network? Can I explain it correctly? Let's try to teach the things that I know. And then in that video blog, you can say, okay, I know what is neural network, but I still don't know what is relationship to autoregressive model, what kind of neural network it is. Then next day you create another blog that, hey, I read this article, I think I know what's the relationship between these two concepts. And you document your own progress. Even though you think that this is not useful, but maybe 10,000 people around the globe watch your video and get motivated that you're trying to learn something that is difficult for you, and they will send you lots of suggestions and say, hey Mina, instead of trying that, try this one. So that's the beauty of you know um, people making people motivated and involved in your. So you can see in the internet, people create blog about their cooking, about their dresses. So lots of simple things. So why we should be shy about our progress? So at least think about it and see how you can create content. Even as Eric mentioned, PowerPoints, anything that you can create, but put it in terms of video. Talk about it. That's my suggestion to you guys. And as I mentioned, I'm the person that I need to motivate you guys. So I have to do it myself to be example of that. And also, we can continue working on the paper. Nothing prevent us to do that concurrently, meaning that we can talk about any concept that we're trying to learn to understand the paper. So it is nothing uh, preventing other progress, this video making or this content making. In my opinion, they should be together to have a multiplier effect. Okay, any comments about this? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay.
So my question is, what do you suggest we can do for the next session to prepare for the next session?
My suggestion to you guys is that study that paper, go through the concept, create that mind map for yourself, and be prepared to at least present it. And as I mentioned, because we don't have, if, for example, if one of us have a presentation for 20 minutes, it's going to be more than an hour, right? So it is better even for that, record your presentation in terms of video, so we can put it in some place, either in Google Doc or in YouTube as a private or unlisted, because if you put unlisted video, nobody can find it unless you give the link to them. So that way we can watch our efforts or explanation offline, meaning that we can do review our work at our own time, and then we can come back at the meeting and talk about that. So in minimum, you can put your content in that Google Doc folders. That's the minimum, my expectation from you guys. And you should be prepared to discuss the things that you discovered since this meeting.
Okay, thank you very much.
And also, we should really read about the shape of the data. We need to understand the data in the research paper, since we know that, as you can say, the next step is that we need to understand the data in order to work on the project. As Mina said, we need to understand the shape of the data that we are taking as an input and stuff like that. Because now we can say that most of us have like an idea about what is a research paper about, and how the model, how is the neural network is structured and stuff like that. But we need to understand the data. That is our first step to build the model, actually.
Data by data, you mean what?
I mean, like the vertex, how it is shaped and stuff like that, and the faces. It is a matrix or a sequence data and stuff like that. It would help us actually to have an intuition about how the model gonna get the data and stuff like that.
Yes, I think there's some GitHub repository, and Shazia, the person that was helping me, she found some data. I mean, you can go ahead and do that. I mean, this
Of course,
is,
I can do it.
yes. So what I'm saying that this is, each one of us are independent, right? We can take different paths to make ourselves knowledgeable about the subject. So for example, Mina wants to go see a Python code first and then come back to the concept. So everyone has the freedom. That's the beauty of this method of learning. Everyone learns differently and practice things differently. But at the end, it's like all of the river that goes different direction. We should come back and join as a ocean. So even that,
Sure.
so that's the philosophy of that. We don't have teacher. Everybody is teacher and a student at the same time. You can do whatever you want to do, but your work becomes perfect when you can convey or teach whatever you learn to other people that they have difficulty understanding it. So that's the beauty of it. There are many people that they are very expert, but they're not willing or they cannot, even if they tried, to explain things to other people. That's the problem that we have in the world, that people, they don't talk to each other. They have pieces of information, but they miss the big picture. So we're going to change that. That's our goal. Okay, we're reaching to 1 hour mark. Any other comment or suggestion or question?
No, I think it's all clear.
Okay, so we will try to meet probably Tuesday or Wednesday. Let's and we'll find the time for that. Okay, so we will be in touch.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. We will be in touch.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.